In the next section we're going to do is making a component interactive. So we know that our button is our square is really a button, but we didn't have an on-click function for it, so it doesn't really react to a click event. We need an on-click function in order to react to a click event. Now, in the first example here, they'll show a traditional JavaScript way of an anonymous function. But they also have an arrow function here, and this is what we're going to use. Read this section, confusing behavior of this. So the initial releases of JavaScript had, and still does, kind of a dynamic nature of the this reference. And it does have confusing behavior, particularly in a callback context. Now, in later releases of JavaScript with arrow functions, they tried to amend, the JavaScript designers amended the confusing behavior of this for arrow functions. They had to leave that behavior for traditional functions because that's the way the language worked. And I'm sure there's applications that depend on that behavior. Arrow functions, they were able to start with a semi-clean slate and get rid of the confusing behavior of this. So this is what we're going to always prefer, and that's what I've used for callback functions in particular. Arrow functions. Now, my callback function is a little bit different than the tutorial shows. I'm actually using string interpolation here in order to show that this props.value in the button click. And the result of this is this application now here. Okay? So now we're interactive, where we can show that we respond to these click events. And that we know this .props.value, which is part of the information that was passed from our parent component, the board component. So now we have interactivity. Thank you.